So on your commute here, assuming you listened to something, what were you listening to?
Oh, I was trying to look for new artists, really. Like, I go through Instagram hashtags to look for new artists that I've never heard about, and I found a couple of good ones, but the train ride was like pretty quick, you know, like it was only 40 minutes, and I started listening to stuff that I already like, in conjunction with like brand new artists. So it was a mix of both. But I was listening to more like house music coming up here, because I was just like, I need to get my energy up a little bit, and then, you know, be a little energetic for the interview.
Yes. So walk me through that process, like with the hashtags and stuff. Like you have specific ones that you'll look up for. Like, how does that work on Instagram?
Yeah. So on Instagram, I'll look up like pop singers. I'll look up anything like pop related. I'm actually working on trying to get to more of the pop field rather than house music. Although like house music is like kind of like my thing, but I want to kind of combine them both, you know, like, and see where I can go with it. And I'm trying to look for singers that have the sound quality that I like and the tone that I really am looking for and really good strong voices, because like for house music, like you need a strong voice for it. Otherwise, you know, you don't want to be listening to like a very, very sad tone over like something that's happy and upbeat. But, yeah. So I search hashtags, and you'd be surprised like what you find, man. It's just like there's a lot of good singers out there. There's a lot of bad ones too.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Let's chat about NFTs. So this is a space that I want to learn more about, and I think a lot of people want to learn more about. So I think for starters, at like a high level, if I told you that there was someone that has a lot of instrumental music that they believe is dope, and they want to get into the world of NFTs,
right,
I'm interested in knowing like what's one sort of use case or scenario that person like today can kind of dive into this world of NFTs. What's something that they can actually kind of sink their teeth into?
Well, the good thing about NFTs is that, you know, it is bringing power back to a lot of the artists. So if you do have a lot of instrumentals, there are marketplaces where you can sell them. There's also a lot of ways that you can collaborate with other artists too. Like if you have an instrumental and all of a sudden like you think that a good vocal would actually go over it, you can collaborate with a singer and kind of split the profits, you know, like, and the technology allows you to instantly get money, you know, like, and if you're talking about like if you're selling instrumentals in the traditional music business, like you're not gonna see returns for a while, you know, because, you know, ASCAP and BMI, like they pay out every quarter. But getting back on track, if you are looking to sell instrumentals, there's marketplaces. There's a whole bunch of artists that will definitely buy it. You know, there's what we call an arts renaissance that's happening right now in NFT and blockchains. There's so many good artists out there. I've met personally some of the most talented singers that I've ever met, and, you know, even being from around here, you're surrounded by talent, but there is a lot of talent that's been undiscovered just because they don't live in this area. So if you're looking to get into NFTs and selling instrumentals, I would say the first thing is to, because it's so small, start building your community out there and letting people know what you're about. Like, cause it's kind of terrible to say this, but music is very oversaturated at this point. So what makes your music different? You know, what can you bring to the table as a producer that makes you different from everybody else? You know, there's and just like there's good and bad singers, there's a lot of good and bad producers. But, you know, if you can learn how to sell yourself and sell your music, like you'll get pretty far. And you just have to have that constant thirst for knowledge, the constant, you know, it's a constant networking game. Like, you have to talk to a lot of people, because the sentiment right now is like people that just come in and you're like, buy my stuff, like, they're not in it for the long haul, and everybody that's in it right now is in it for the long haul. That is successful. So yeah, if you have instrumentals, I would say build up a community first and really get to know the players in the game, rather than just going in and be like, yeah, I have this music, buy my music. It doesn't work, and I've learned that firsthand because I started off, I had 15 instrumentals that I wasn't really doing anything with. I put it on the market. I packaged it. I was like, it was a project that was based off the video games I played growing up and all the music that was in it. And luckily enough for me, I got one sale. One sale was more than 3 years of streaming revenue for me. So it really depends on what your skill level is, what you can offer, how you kind of package the whole entire thing. So it's a combination of marketing, talent, and drive, really, because even off of that one project, it was one sale out of 15 potential sales, which is great. I'll take it. It was a good amount of money, and but that required me to talk to a lot of people. I had to jump into Twitter Spaces, tell people about my project, and get people interested, because as much as some people think they're the shit, like, nobody knows who you are until like you've really made it big. So like there's a huge ego check there too. So
super helpful.
Yeah.
So why do you think there is such a volatility amongst what I'll call NFT and blockchain sort of naysayers and believers? Why do you think there's some people that are just like, no, this is this way, and no, this is this way?
So why I think there's a volatility is because it's so brand new right now. It's a gold rush. It's essentially the gold rush of like the 1920s or like before, like 1895 or whatever. Because of Bitcoin, because of crypto and how it all operates, there's no really regulations at this point. There will be very soon, I'm sure. I think a lot of people are scared about, one, losing money, which is not like totally legit fear. People are seeing that there isn't like, they're like, well, we could buy a JPEG with fiat money, right? Or we can just right click and save this picture, which, yeah, that's true, you can do that, but the implications of NFT technology is more about ownership and who actually owns this thing, this specific thing, right? So if, let's say I put out a song, right, and I legally say that you get full ownership if you buy this. You don't have to pay, you don't have to tag me for royalties, like nothing on BMI or ASCAP. You own this. Now, if somebody else like kind of like goes and like steals it off of like YouTube or something like that, we know who the original owner is because we can look at who owns the wallet, because it's all written on the blockchain, on the ledger on the blockchain. So it's more about ownership and giving more power back to an artist, because I've had friends that got things stolen from them plenty of times off YouTube, and there's no real way to like kind of be like, yeah, I made this first, unless there's like, you show the project file, but nobody wants to go through that, like there's like so many other things you do with your time. So this blockchain technology and NFTs, it's making things a lot easier for people, but there are the other people that are also scared about the volatility of crypto, and because it's rising and sinking all the time, and that's partly in fact that there's a lot of people that hold a lot and then they kind of manipulate the market, and that's why I said there's going to be regulation soon. So I think that's part of the reason why people are kind of like being naysayers to NFTs. People are also saying that There are people that believe that it's harming the environment because of all the computing power that it takes. And then there's also the argument that, the NFTs are just a waste of time, which, I think anything can be a waste of time. You just have to learn how to use what's given to you. We're in this technological revolution, or this, industrial revolution of new ways of doing things. And historically, if you look back, there's always been, printing press, we can just write this out. Like, we don't even need a machine to do this. Or the television, and how television killed radio, and then how streaming killed television. And, now there's just a bigger change that's coming to the music industry. And also, labels are looking to get into the NFT space right now. So that's a big indication that, something's happening. Something is happening.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Excellent.
Sweet.
That was fire. Man,
Awesome, dude.
this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Super insightful.
Yeah.
And